they still gotta play us. Let's go, baby. Woo!
Hey, don't run that ball on the one Hubbard, showed you how that go down. Feeling like Santino, tell him we want all the smoke now. We ain't snooping that commercial, we don't put no smoke down. Plus we back and you can't hide, so it ain't nowhere safe to go now. And we always gon' turn up in that jungle every time. How we ain't gon' win when we loaded in with 9? Plus T just came in signed, so the city gon' be fine. Jamar say he open every time and he ain't never lied. Look at how we win at it, the size of the old line. Giving Burrow extra time should be a federal crime. Hey, we right back on that path again. Put the division back to the test, they won't pass again. Orlando and Trent Brown, that's the Tower Twins. Feel like we only getting better as we stacking wins.
And we stacking.
Jaceki in for 6, that's a gritty again. AFC North battles getting gritty again. It's Yoshi second year, we just brought Burton in. Vaughn back to ring some bells, get the cracking again.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from the West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati. Home of some of the best barbecue around. That's right, it's Midwest Best Barbecue and Creamery. If you have not checked it out yet, I ask you the same question every single day. Why the hell not? Get out there, get you some Dillinator wings, some CTB wings, some Uno wings, some pulled pork sandwiches. It's all delicious. Take a dartboard and throw it at the menu. I guarantee you'll love something. Also, you have to tell Tim Nicole I sent you. Also, show's brought to you by Meyer Windows and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Like I always say, I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. And for my West Side peeps, you're looking for a place to go watch some baseball tonight, go check out Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. It's right in the heart of Cheviot. Big-ass TV screen, beer specials, free parking, food trucks. It's an awesome, awesome place to check it out. And if you guys missed it last night, I did my first show. It was early at 4:30, but I'll be doing it at 4:30 every Wednesday from now to the end of Bengals season. It's ahead of Fox 19's Bengals Now show. They taped that. My show's live. They tape it. It's going to air. The Bengals Now show is going to air tonight at 11:30 and also tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon. If you missed those, then you can watch it on fox19.com. So my show is on at 4:30. Theirs is on at 11:30 tonight. Also, live this Tuesday, I'm excited to announce this. I'm going to have not only Ted Karras, Bengals center, on the show live at the Moorline Lager House. I'm also going to have Ken Anderson, Bengals legend, who should be in the Hall of Fame. He's also going to be joining us. So that show starts at 6, runs till 8. Happy hour starts at 3 and is extended till 9. What that means is $5 drafts, house wines, well drinks, and $2 off appetizers. So make sure you guys check that out. One more thing before we get going here. For the Eagles game, it got moved to 1 o'clock. That means the Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell Moorline Lager House Club the pregame experience got moved to 10 a.m. So if you guys got tickets, remember the tailgate starts at 10 a.m. for the next Bengals home game. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, why not? It's $75. If you guys are going down to the Banks to hang out, you're going to spend more money on drinks. You might get 4 drinks for $75. For $75, you get to drink for 3 hours, open bar. Trust me, it's the best deal on the Banks. Again, it's the Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell Club at the Moorline Lager House pregame experience. What is up to everybody in the chat? It is blowing up. I know you guys are excited to see. And Graham is here. I see Graham. He is in the waiting room. So, all right. We got him. I don't have to sit there and make stuff up with Greg and talk to him this time. But anyway, we got Brad's in there. Carrie's in there. Carrie, you're blowing it up. What's up? Tebow's in there. Paul's in there. Sydney's in there. Carrie's in there. I think that's everybody. All right. Before we get to Graham, let's get to my partner in crime who joins me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's none other than Joe Schmo. Well, it didn't add it. Hold on a second there. Hey, there you are.
Hey!
I got too many buttons to push. It's a little confusing here. There's only so much stuff that can go on in this brain, all right?
There's, you can unitask. There's multitasking, and then there's unitasking, so it's rough for you. Hey, what's going on, dude?
How are you? Nice to see you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, me too, dude. I'm ready for baseball. I'm all dressed to see. You're wearing blue. Why are you wearing blue? I know the Dodgers are in the playoffs, but you're wearing blue.
I'm going out to dinner afterwards. I'm not wearing my Reds gear out to dinner. I've got a signed Jose Rijo picture right behind me.
Whatever.
Joe DiMaggio right behind me.
Look. Just look. Let's hold on. Let's bring on a real professional here. He is dressed in all his red stuff. He is none other than PSG. See, look, now that's what a professional looks like.
Yep.
See, get the beard and everything.
He didn't get the memo. Sorry.
He didn't get the memo.
Well, hang on, professional. Are we getting paid for this?
Well, no.
Then I'm not a professional. Shut your face.
You're wearing Dodger blue. Either way, you know what? Screw this. Let's get to Graham because nobody wants to see us argue anyway. They can't see Graham anyway.
Let's get teal anyway. The lighting sucks.
That is not. You're colorblind. That is not teal. Let's get to
this
Graham.
color.
I just cut him off. Oh wait, I can't fight him now. Where did he go? Jazel, there he is. Holy crap, that's horrendous. You fixed that?
You took the screen off, so I couldn't. Or you took the screen off, so I couldn't fix it. So I don't know how you're gonna.
That's terrible. That's awful. Hey Graham, how you doing?
How's it going, fellas? Sorry about last week. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Like you got a baby coming or something, man. I don't know. It's stuff happens. It's all good. It's all good. So for everyone wants to know how's the elbow. I just put it out there. That'd be the first question I ask you. How's the elbow?
Elbow's really good. The rehab went really great. Definitely got a lot stronger in the shoulder and the forearm, and it towards the end we got up and did a live October 2nd. I threw to Seth and McLean.
Ooh.
And it was good. I mean, started working on a little sinker that's a lot more consistent than the other one is. So that's exciting. And I mean, it was only 6 weeks of building up, so I was happy with the velo that I got to. I mean, on my live, I was sitting 4 to 6, so I was pretty happy with that. So.
There you go. Joe, are you having stuff in the background there? Or are people like attacking you back there? Because I'm hearing a whole bunch of noise, and it's usually your mic.
No. My daughter's upstairs. They got the washing machine going around the corner.
Maybe that's what I'm hearing. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right. Well, Graham, that's good news, man. I'm glad to hear it. Now, there's a whole bunch of questions in here, but I got a couple of them I want to get off here real quick. I know busy off season, so tell everybody what have you been doing and why did you? I wouldn't say stand me up. You didn't stand me up. You just forgot or got busy. Just tell everybody what's been going on.
So me and my wife. My wife's expecting.
Woo!
We're 25 weeks. I say we, but it's her. I'm just
your job is done till then afterwards. Then you got 18 years the rest of your life. Then then you got stuff to do.
I'm just here to help paint the baby room and put all the parts together.
So how was putting the crib together? Because that was a horrendous experience for me.
I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't that bad. But the problem is with this crib, for some reason, they decided to send screws to go in every hole that didn't need. I kid you not. There was at least 10 to 12 extra screws on top of the 40 you had to put in this thing. I'm like, why? Just why?
That's horrifying when you get to that point and you have so much extra, and you're like, is my baby gonna fall to the floor because I screwed something up? Because there's extra hardware.
It makes you think like. I guess I have to put it together for this thing to stay intact. I
don't know. It happens to me every time I take some of the part or put something together. I always end up with extra parts. I don't know why. It's weird.
Do a drop test. Like if you have a bowling ball bag or something, or just drop it on there. Like,
wait, how heavy do you think the baby's gonna be? A bowling ball? Well, I'm always worried. Have you had babies before, Joe? God.
First off, baby's going to end up more than a bowling ball when they're in the crib.
Eventually, yes. Eventually.
Yes, and you want to make sure that they don't just fall in the middle of the night.
But I don't think I'd drop it from the ceiling, though. I don't think any crib would hold that.
I'm just testing the resilience of the damn thing. My God. You can tell you got kids in your 20s.
What's ridiculous about the crib is that they send the crib, but they don't send a baby mattress with the crib.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's normal. I had that before.
That's ridiculous.
Well, back when my kids were little, we didn't have them sent to us. I had to go to Babies R Us, which I don't even know if that's even a thing anymore. And
no, dude, that's long gone.
Yeah, we had to. I'm old. Shut up. we had to pick stuff out. Greg, what do you got, man? We don't want to take. We want to let you talk to. Go ahead.
Graham, what was your reaction when you found out Terry Frank Hona has been hired the next Reds manager?
I was excited. I mean, there's so much history with him. He's been with a lot of successful teams. I mean, he was a great player himself. So it's very exciting to know the with what happened to DB, you know, it's very exciting for us as players to know that they're showing like we're this serious about it. Like
right.
Especially for him to come out of retirement, like that speaks volume to us as players too. So it makes us very excited for the upcoming season.
All right, Michael Mann here's got a question here. Said, did your wife say to read the instructions? Because instructions are more like guidelines. I don't really pay attention to those. I don't know about you, Graham.
When it comes to stuff like that, I read the instructions, but that's just because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something, and it's going to be to get towards the end. I'm going to be like, well, I got 3 pieces right here in my hand that aren't on there somewhere. So,
well, it's good thing you didn't do what I did. And by the way, I put the crib together, and nobody died. So they're both my kids are in their 20s, so they lived through me building something. So let's get back to Tito though. I mean, me and Joe talked about this, and we talked about this too. Tito was like up here on our list for Reds managers. Yeah. We did not think that the Reds were going to get him. We didn't. I don't know. That's not something that happens. We don't get nice things. Except we got you. We're happy we got you, Graham. We got you, but we don't get stuff like that. So, how surprised were you that Tito came?
I mean, you know, after hearing some of his interviews and like what he's talked about and just like what he sees with the organization and the players that we have, it's almost kind of like it doesn't come as a surprise, you know, just because he the way he talks about everything and the way he speaks so highly about everybody. It almost seems like he was really looking forward to this opportunity. And
yes,
it's the same. It's like I was just saying, it's just like for us players, you know, it gives you that reassurance, and it's just kind of like, okay, you know, we're going to have a guy that's coming in and he's going to try to make an impact right away and in a very good way.
So has he reached out to you, and have you got to talk to him on the phone yet?
I talked to him about 2 days after he got hired. He called me, and it was just a short, brief conversation, just introduction, and me and him will talk further on through the offseason.
Awesome. That's cool. So have they given you any indication of what the Reds' plans are with you? Are they going to try you at starting pitching? Because I've heard some talk about moving into the bullpen. And what's your thoughts on that yourself? I'm sure you see yourself as a starter, but what's your thoughts of what the Reds are thinking about doing with you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's one of the things. Like, I'll make a decision when it comes to it. I'm going to treat this offseason as I'm going to be a starter because, I mean, I think this past year I was still dealing with a little bit of stuff with my foot kind of during spring and at the beginning of season, and then the elbow stuff happened, and so I feel like this year was just kind of it was that uppercut to the face year, you know. It was just kind of like the throw up season.
Yeah.
Like,
nothing went right this year, unfortunately.
And so like I kind of this season I just kind of watched it, you know, just clear the slate because when I was in rehab I got to a really great spot. We kind of worked a little bit mechanically, got my release height up a lot higher than where it's been, and I mean the sinker that I'm throwing now, it's basically moving like my slider it does, but it's going in righties and it's going in at upper 90s. So
that's awesome, dude. Because I've always had your back, and I always say you're a starting pitcher. That's where I've seen you at. Because, like I said, I've told you on the show before, when you're on and you're pitching like you pitch, you're a bulldog. You remind me of Tom Browning, the way you pitch, and you pitch with confidence and aggression. That's what I love about you.
I appreciate that. And I mean, I like to think that that's one of my big keys. And, you know, personally, I thought I was going to be a bullpen guy. Like once I started getting closer to knocking on that big door on the big league door. And so it's always kind of been in the back of my head, like what would I be like out of the pen? But it's also like, I know what I can be as a starter. And I know if I'm healthy and if I am doing what I can do, I'm good luck. Like,
exactly. When you're on, dude, you're on.
It showed when they recalled me and I threw against the Yankees. Like that game right there. And I mean, it's just bits and pieces, you know. There's just times like this past season, you know, I can say a lot of things to where it's like I felt like I got taken out of games and situations that I shouldn't have got taken out of. And
I agree.
In the fourth or fifth inning with 1 or 2 outs, and then one guy gets a walk or a cheapy hit, and then the next guy gets a cheapy hit, and then I'm getting yanked. When last year they would have kept me in there until the freaking 7th inning, you know.
Right.
But that's also the player side and the competitor side in me.
Obviously.
And but it's like I know what I can do, and I mean, y'all have seen me throw. Y'all know what I can do. I felt like I've kind of held my own a little bit. Of course, I've had my ups and downs, as any player has. It might have been, like, I would say 23, that 7-game stretch, I was tipping, and we didn't really figure it out. But once we figured it out, the rest of the season, I had a 2.18 ERA.
Yeah, you're good after that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah, it's absolutely shoving.
Like, if I can get in and I can have a full healthy year, I mean, I think it could be really fun, and especially with Hunter. He turned it on. He's going to be turning it over again next year and doing the same thing, getting even better. Lodolo coming back healthy. Abbott getting full healthy season in. I mean, and the talent that we have underneath. I mean, you've seen some of the guys come up, and sadly enough, that happened to Brandon and Aguiar.
Yeah.
But, that's things that it happens. Injury happens. You just can't really do anything about it, and as sad as it is, and it's just it makes it exciting. I got to see a little bit while I was in Arizona. I got to see Chase Burns a little bit in person, and that dude's got a live arm, man.
Yes he does. Yes he does. We've heard about it. Go ahead, Joe. What you got?
I know we touched a little bit about Tito, but were you surprised to see David Bell go, considering kind of expectations? There were a lot of injuries this year that played a huge role into the team not finishing where everyone wanted it to be. But were you kind of surprised that it happened? Not necessarily when or anything like that, but that David Bell was let go.
So I personally was very surprised because, for one, I was in Arizona for the last 2.5 months of the season.
Right.
So I, like, all that stuff that was going around when they had the team meeting about all this stuff happening, none of it got relayed to me. I wasn't made aware of any of it. I found out from my buddy texting me before I went in to PT at like 6:30 in the morning. Like, what's your thoughts on what happened to David Bell? Like, what are you talking about?
Like, what do you mean what happened to him?
And, it's one of those things, like, yes, I was shocked. You don't really know how to take it, but it's also the same as in a player getting traded, getting DFA, somebody retiring. I mean, it's along all those lines, and it happens a lot in our game, and it's just something you kind of have to know, understand, and, like, yes, it sucks, yes, it can be hard, but you just have to roll with it because you can't do anything about it. It's just how the game is.
Now you mentioned okay, good, Joe.
I was gonna say, how big of an influence would you put him in? Because I know his role in that, and one of the reasons why the Reds hired him in the first place to be manager was his history in player development, and how big of an impact did him with that background and you coming up, as a young pitcher, how big of an impact did that make on your the other part of your career in the last couple of years?
He was a really great influencer when it came to team camaraderie and bringing guys together. I feel like he did a very good job of showing young players of leadership and what it should look like and how players should go about it to make sure that everybody's coming together. Because, man, you can talk to a lot of guys from a lot of different teams. There's some guys that are on really great teams, and there's just everybody's off by themselves. It's like everybody's together in a sense with teams, but it's just like you can tell there's that clubhouse camaraderie, but there's no outside the field, like people asking to go play golf, people asking to fish, whatever. Like,
right.
Get dinner, cookouts, all that stuff. And I felt like DB did a really great job of that, and I felt like it carried over throughout the year, especially with some of us young guys and stuff. I mean, this past year, I felt like there was a lot of stuff that we did as a team, whether it was during spring training, going and playing golf, having cookouts. Like I personally set up a crawfish boil on an off day for the guys to come and hang out, and all that stuff. So, like, I felt like he did a really great job of that. And I mean, DB had a great professional career, and so he had a lot of knowledge of playing the game. And, like, of course, it's from the position player wise. So, like, I felt like he could pass that on. He passed that on a lot better to, like, those guys,
Right. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, sorry, my computer went out. I forgot to plug my computer into the battery.
We thought you got man left.
Yeah, so let me ask. Graham, one thing I was really happy about when after Terry Frank Hona came, that Derek Johnson got retained, because that was a little concern of mine. What's going to happen with him? How big of a deal is it when you found out he was staying on the staff?
Oh, I mean, I've worked with DJ for 3 years now, so having him, I feel like, your pitching coach gets to know you. He learns who you are. He knows what to say, what not to say. He knows when he should say something and when he shouldn't say something. Yeah. So knowing you have that guy coming back that knows you, it helps you be more comfortable as a player.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Now, one thing you talked about your last start against the Yankees. I DM'd you after that, and I was like, "Great start! You did a good job." I was like, happy to see you back. That series was a microcosm of the season. I always say we went to New York and swept the Yankees, who are a couple games away from going to the World Series here, and then we come back home and get swept by Detroit. That's just a microcosm of the season. I think it was just too many injuries, not enough consistency. Do you think how much does that weigh on you guys? How hard is that when you're trying to figure out? Why are we, like last year we had so many come from behind wins and everything went right. And this year everything went wrong. Do you guys, as a team, what are you trying to do? Kill a chicken, do something to change the mojo? What are you guys trying to do here to try to fix that?
And it's one of those things. If you go look statistically from last season to this season, the run differentiation isn't really that much different. The only thing that's different is last year we won all of the one run games.
1 run game, yes.
Games, 1 run games. We won about all of them.
Almost, yep.
This year it just didn't go our way. I mean, it's just how the game can go sometimes. Y'all know, y'all have watched plenty of it and played plenty of it. Like it's
baseball, man.
It's not an easy game. Like
no.
It's baseball, and it's just part of it. And it's not like, y'all know, it's everybody says it, and it sounds like we all are just beating a dead chicken.
Yeah.
But it's like, man,
shit happens.
You can't do anything about it. Exactly, yeah. Shit happens.
Exactly.
It's just the way it goes. And yes, it sucks because we know the caliber team that we are. And yes, does it hurt us when we have injuries that we had, because a lot of those players like TJ, Matt, and Cess and Marte, and missing a lot of our big name position player guys for a bit, either a 2-month span or all of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
And that stuff it can hurt you. We had some guys come in and step up in a very big way, but it's just you can't just rely on it all the time. Last year, it was just one of those things. We just played really good baseball, and it's just this year we still played really good baseball. It's just stuff didn't go our way, man.
Hopefully we change that this year.
Those balls we were getting hit down the line this year were getting
they're going foul,
caught by the first baseman,
or they're going foul, right?
Yeah,
exactly. So have you been paying attention to any of the playoffs or anything here lately? Or are you taking a break from baseball?
Man, I've been so busy at the house. I tell you, when I've been home for these past 2 weeks, and I have hardly watched TV besides me and my wife sitting down watching shows after dinner. That's as much TV as I'm watching.
So you know about your have you heard about your former teammate Dreamweaver being the ace closer for the Yankees?
Oh yeah, I've been keeping up with him.
How happy are you for him?
Oh, I'm ecstatic for him. I remember I went and talked with him when we were in New York, and I just asked him what's some of the stuff you've worked on to change and get better the way you have over the past year. And he just kind of was talking about it and some of the stuff that he's worked on. And it's just I feel like it's sometimes it takes that, sometimes it takes just getting in the right organization with the right group of people that can help unlock that out of a player. And so, hearing that for him, it's awesome. I'm glad he's having the success that he's having this year and getting his name out there the way that it should be, because he's a great pitcher and he's an even better human being. So it's great. I'm happy for him.
I'm happy for him too. I'm also a little going damn it, why couldn't you do that here? Because that happens. So he had a good year for us, and he pitched a pretty good game for us last year, but then it's Man, if we knew he's that good, gee, he could have been, could have had him and Diaz in the bullpen. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys where you look at the stuff and you can look at the metrics and see the break and everything and the spin rate and like the stuff didn't was nowhere near what the results were. Like this guy has he's got an amazing repertoire, and it's just not and nothing, saying nothing of the Reds, Derek Johnson or anything like that, but sometimes just getting another voice, another voice, just moving, just holding that grip a little bit different, just unlocks so much. And yeah, it would have been great for it to happen, here in Cincinnati, but that he was able to harness that for the Yankees of all teams, but.
Yeah, the Dark Empire. Which if Augie's watching this, he's a Yankee fan that watches. He's a Bengals fan too, which I think is weird.
Hey, at least it's not in our division. That's all I got.
That's true. That's true. What you got, Greg? Anything?
How bummed are you that there's going to be no Reds Fest this year? When he told me last week no Reds Fest, I'm like, you got to be.
I'm bummed. That's how I met Graham last year. It was at the Reds Fest, and I'm bummed they're not having it. I wish they'd have it. Like. I don't know, have it at US Bank Arena or have it somewhere. But yeah, I mean,
it honestly kind of shocked all of us because that's like the midway point of the off season for like all the boys to come back and reunite for a couple days before we get back into the off season. So, like it's like it's just different, it feels weird not having to go there and for that, but. It's also like, especially for me, at least with a baby on the way. Like,
if I help,
because it helps.
Yeah, like that's going to be 2 months out, so it's like I'll get an extra hunting trip or two in.
There you go. Hey, when is the baby due anyway?
At the end of January.
Okay, and I know I asked you this on the phone the other day, but what are you having?
We're having a baby girl.
You know what I told you yesterday, right? Good thing you got guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep them close and teach her how to shoot.
Oh, she's gonna be hunting with me out there in the tree stand. So
I don't doubt that whatsoever. All right, Carrie's got a question here. What's your experience viewpoint of the Reds medical staff since you've had to deal with them here with the elbow issue and your foot issue last year?
So I mainly dealt with the group in Arizona and not with the big league side because the rehab with the foot I did all that here at my hometown in Tennessee. So. The rehab group in Arizona is great. The head guy, Eric Gonzalez, does a phenomenal job. I couldn't have asked to have a better PT, like working with me, helping me get after it. I also went into it with the mentality of I'm here to get better and get stronger and get healthy. So I'm going to actually work my butt off and grind through it and not take any days off about it.
Exactly.
And it made him appreciate me a little bit more for that. So that way he took it like he was like, okay, like you're getting after it. Like, so let's go. And so he pushed me that much more. And it's really good for me. It's just, and I feel like a lot of the rehab process stuff, it's more so about how you go at it. If you get after it and you do what you're supposed to do and then some, that's how you benefit from it and get even better and not just turn back into the same person who you were.
Right.
And so that's just the mentality I went in with it. And I feel like that's why it kind of helped me feel the way that I feel right now.
So I know they don't have a Reds Fest. We just talked about that, but they still have the Reds Caravan. Have you been told if you're going to be on any of the legs of the Reds Caravan?
I have not. I haven't even been on the Caravan once yet.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So I don't know. That's going to depend on the days because if it's any time in January, I'm not going to be. I'm not.
You'll be on baby watch then, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to stay home, make sure I'm taking care of Mama.
Usually it's right before the truck rolls out to go to Arizona for so it's early February. So
yeah, so I
it's probably not a good idea with the little one days weeks old.
I'm gonna have 2 to 3 weeks here before spring training, so I'm definitely not leaving the house.
Yeah.
So we know in the Ashcraft household, the Mrs. Ashcraft is the football fan. So how does she have it? Does she have any picks or anything? Who's her favorite team? I know kind of asked that before, but I can't remember what she said. What team does she root for?
Well, college, it's Mississippi State because that's her alma mater and that's where she graduated from. And she grew up a Vols fan, so we'll watch some Tennessee and some Mississippi State. And honestly, I've been watching a little bit more this year just because when I was in Arizona for 2.5 months. I couldn't golf, I couldn't fish, I couldn't do anything besides go work out, do PT, and come back and sit in the AC. Plus, it's 110 degrees there.
But it's a dry heat, Graham. It's a dry heat.
Yeah,
so's an oven.
400. Tell me if that's still good on stage.
That's what they always tell me. That's a dry heat. Like, dude, it's still freaking hot. I don't care.
An oven's a dry heat. I'm not going to go stick my ass in one of them.
Hey, Graham, next time in Cincinnati, we told you last time on the show, you got to stop by Midwest Best Barbecue, buddy. Awesome restaurant. Tim and Nicole are great owners. Chicken wings. They got brisket sandwiches. They got good mac and cheese, good corn muffins. I mean, just awesome barbecue in general. You definitely need to check that out next time you're here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I was actually just about to ask because I know the rumors out that you're pretty handy with you make some pretty incredible ribs. Rumor has it. So people that I know ask, what do you use? Do you smoke them? Right? You got a smoker?
Yeah,
Okay.
I smoke them, but I don't do the low and slow process. I grew up the way my dad did it. We have a mix of stuff we put on for a dry rub.
That was my next question is what do you put on them?
Yeah, so we dry rub it at the beginning and then stick it on the grill at about 350, 375. Flip them every about 15, 20 minutes. Spritz them down with either some applesauce or some apple juice or some beer.
Ooh.
And then,
you had me a beer.
Oh, wow.
And then I actually, my dad made it growing up, so we'll get like Sweet Baby Ray's or some Kraft barbecue,
That's good.
some Kraft barbecue sauce,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll put it in a bowl, put some beer in it, and whatever seasoning we like in it to kind of spice it up and add some flavor to it. And then we'll glaze it at the end to create that crust on it.
Oh,
All
that
right,
sounds
so
good.
yeah, you're making a fat guy hungry here. So, Carrier, what's over? You're talking deer meat. We were not talking deer meat, but do you do anything special with deer meat? Do you do jerky? I love deer jerky. That's delicious. Do you have anything special thing you do with deer meat?
So I would say if I had to pick one meal to make people for deer, and I actually did it in spring training for Frankie Montas and Nick Martinez. They came over and had dinner, and I'll marinate it. I normally marinate it in Dale's. I actually don't think y'all have Dale's up in Ohio.
Yeah,
I think that's more of like a southeastern thing. But you can get it on Amazon. So I would say if you can order it, try it. It's really good.
it's a marinating sauce.
Yeah, it's marinated.
Okay.
I'll also mix it in with like ground beef to make burgers and stuff. But I'll marinate it for about. I'll cut the back strap up into pieces. I'd say they're about like the size of your palm, and about 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. And then marinate it in the Dale's for about 3 to 4 hours. We used to go longer. Dale's is very high in sodium. So we used to go like overnight, but it
Too salty.
Now we realize it makes it too salty. So
Yeah.
we'll do it for like 3 to 4 hours, and then take it out. Get some cream cheese. Slice some red, yellow, or green bell pepper. We normally do 2. We'll get like red or green or yellow and green or orange or whatever. And then some jalapenos. Slice them up. You want long pieces. Put onion
drooling.
on it, wrap it in bacon, and then cook it on the grill.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm sending you my address so you can mail me some of this stuff. That sounds freaking delicious, dude. Oh my God!
Let's all go to Graham's house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, his wife's pregnant. I don't think she'll like us weird guys showing
When
up.
you're
Who
in
is
town,
this?
come to one of our houses.
Yes, that's a better idea. I got a fire pit. We'll burn some shit back here, and then we
There
can
we
eat some deer meat. There you go. So, all right. So last year you got to actually. Was it last year you got to be in the opening day parade? Was that correct?
The past 2 years I've been.
Past year. All right. Can you tell me just how fun is that? I mean, because this past year I finally got to do, or me and Joe here, we did our live show, which I was trying to get you to come over to the live show, but you're kind of busy being the parade. So, but we did our live show there. How yeah, a little hard. How fun is that? I mean, because we're Reds fans. We always think our opening day is the best around. You're not from here. How much fun is that? How much better is it? Or are we just full of crap than everybody else's?
I enjoy the heck out of it, and that's one of the reasons they asked me to be in it, because somebody else was going to be in the parade, but they had to throw a bullpen or something. And so they weren't able to do it. And so they asked me last minute. And I was like, of course. I mean, like, without a doubt. And it's kind of hard to explain. Like, getting out and just seeing the support that you have from the city and everybody that travels in to come to the parade. Plus, I mean, like, when you see the little kids while you're driving down and they're all like going crazy, jumping up and down, waving at you, and you look at them and like point them out and say hi and wave at them, it makes their day. And it's just the thing that just kind of just sits on my heart and just kind of makes me happy to know that I was able to make a kid's day doing that. And so, like, getting to do the parade and just see the joy and the smiles on the faces as we're going by, it's just, there's something that's special to it that holds a very close spot in my heart.
Now, does it put more pressure on you guys to win the game because of all the festivities and stuff, or once you get there, it's just like a normal game?
Yeah, once you get there, it's just a normal game. I mean, there's 162 of them for a reason.
Yeah.
It's just another day. We're just going to go out and play the game as hard as we can. If we get the dub, we get the dub. If not, we're going to come back the next day and take it away from them.
Yeah, exactly. Because then the second night they do the kids night where you do the red carpet and everything. So it's which I wish I always say it's funny that we wait all year for you guys to play and then you play one game, then you get a day off, and then I'm like, damn, because I get all excited. I'm like, Reds are back. All right, cool. Shit, they're not playing tonight. I gotta wait another day. But what talk about that experience doing the red carpet thing for the night two.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the same thing with the parade, I mean, 'cause that's specifically for the kids. And of course, you have some adults that come up and step in front of kids and put signs in front of kids.
You just want to elbow them out the way, like.
And I mean,
I will happily do that.
Personally, I completely ignore adults during that because it's not for them; it's for the children. And
exactly.
And I mean, my biggest thing, if I can, hey baby. Sorry, my dog just came in to say hello. One of them, at least.
What's your dog's name?
It's Lady. Come here.
Lady.
Come on.
Let's see, Lady. Oh, hi, Lady.
Big girl.
The big doggy.
No, puppy.
Yeah, I love dogs. My dog, unfortunately, passed away in July, so I'm dogless now. I'll be getting another one, though. But, yeah, I love dogs.
I'll give you a cat to make up for it.
I already have a cat. I don't want another freaking cat. I'm not, like...
I've got 3, none of my choice.
So, but like I was saying, so for me to go, for me personally going out there, if I can make one of those kids' day and make them want to play the game that I grew up loving and enjoying, and pass that on and show that hey, come on, keep coming out, we love having you here, appreciate y'all coming out, all that stuff, knowing that I'm able to pass that on and hopefully kind of push somebody into wanting to get more into baseball or play. Maybe instead of just playing wiffle ball in the backyard, they're like, hey, I want to go play coach pitch or ball or something like that. That's where for me it's more important for me about that side of things when it comes to the kids' day stuff, because I know like I said earlier, that's the stuff that just makes kids years.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what made me a baseball fan. I grew up in the end of the Big Red Machine. Pete Rose, who just passed away, Johnny Bench. I mean, those guys are my favorite players. I mean, Pete Rose was my favorite player. But speaking of Pete, did you ever get a chance to meet? I know he couldn't come on the field or anything, but did you ever get a chance to meet Pete Rose or talk to him or anything?
I got a chance to introduce myself and shake his hand, and that was really about it. I never really had, and that was at the Hall of Fame dinner last year. And so I never really got the chance to sit down and have a conversation with him. And I wish I could have. I wish he would have been able to been around us a lot more, just because,
just to pick his brain about baseball.
Yeah, would be fun. Just the knowledge that he knows. It's like talking with Eric Davis and Barry and all the guys that are around us that have played with the Reds and all the Hall of Famers. The knowledge that they have and just the experiences that they can talk about, it's honestly breathtaking to hear some of the stuff that they just have been around to see.
Yeah, Graham, I was going to ask you a question. Is there a former Red? They love bringing former Reds around current players to get knowledge. Is there a former Red that you got personally close to, that you became good friends with, or?
I would say Eric ED, he's around. He's the outfield coordinator. I've gotten really close with him over the past couple years. I mean, me and him, heck, I feel like every time me and him see each other, we can sit down and have a 2-hour-long conversation and just keep talking. I mean, me and him have talked forever. And same with Barry. I mean, I actually lived right next to Barry during season, and so he would see me walking my dogs and pull over and stop and talk with me for a little bit and stuff. So like those guys have been a big help to me, and they have helped, like, especially like last year, like they were very influenced, like a very good influence of being like, hey, like, keep your head up, like, you know what you can do, don't let any of this stuff affect you, like,
exactly,
we've seen it, you've seen it, you've done it, we know who you can be, you know what you can be, just go do you.
Exactly, and I know I DM'd you turned to year 2, trying to encourage you too, which, I mean, it sounds a lot better coming from Barry Larkin and Eric Davis than my dumb ass. But how hard is that? Because that's where baseball is such a mental game. I mean, it's you're gonna strike out more than you're gonna get hits. You're as a pitcher, they're gonna probably the ball's not gonna go where you want it to 90% of the time. You don't feel right. I mean, how hard is that to? Especially for, I hate to say the last couple of years you've had injuries and last years haven't gone as well as you've won. How hard is it to keep mentally on top of that?
You know, it's tough. I mean, there's times, like, not so much this year as it was. I mean, even this year, like there's times where it's taxing and you're like, you're angry at the world and you just want to punch somebody in the face. Like, as bad as it is. Like, that's just how it is. I mean, it's
like you're a normal human being or something, Graham.
But this is what I tell people when they sit there and going on. I just tell them, I'm like, look, I'm a normal human being. I just have a really cool job.
I agree. You have a really cool job. I wish I had your job.
but I just feel like that's one thing, and this is the player in me speaking that gets hate messages on social media and all that.
Yeah, I'd stay off that if I were you.
From somebody that makes a $5 bet on me parlay that they lost because I didn't punch out 8 people in one game.
I tell them this.
Yeah,
but it's just one of those things, you know. I mean, for one, the game's hard as hell.
Yep.
It's always going to be. It's never going to be easy. There's a reason. There's only a certain amount of guys that have been up into this at this level. I mean, it's the only reason.
Yeah.
And 2, we're normal people. We have normal things going on. Like people, like the thing that happened with Jake Fraley, like this past season.
Yeah.
It was absolutely heartbreaking, and for him to do what he did this past season is absolutely amazing.
And to end his season the way he did, to go through that whole and then start coming out going, all right, this is the Jake that we know. Exactly. That's the I won't say the more impressive, but the whole thing was impressive. But to be able to end the season on a good note, just baseball wise, was perfect. I mean, that's just you got to be mentally strong to do this. And like you said, and the other thing, I said, only if all these people on Twitter, everybody get mad at you. Well, if they can do it better, why the hell aren't they doing it?
Exactly.
And the thing is, like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, professional baseball players, like I know, just through networking, Carlos Guevara, he was pitched in the Reds minor leagues in mid 2000s when Votto, Jay Bruce, and all those guys were coming up, and he ended up pitching in the majors for a brief time with the Padres at the end of 2008. Just seeing some people interact, their interactions with him. They're like, you only pitched in the majors, or someone who gave up, who only pitched for a couple weeks. I'm like, do you understand how, like, you have to be the top 1% of the top 1% at your profession to even get a cup of coffee? And some slapdick is giving them shit because, like, you only pitch a couple weeks. Or, like, do you realize how hard it is, how much you have to work? Like, number one, like,
and it's not you guys. Yeah, you guys are given this stuff. You have to work at this.
Right.
Oh,
right.
I mean,
There's a reason that you guys where you are. You work so much harder than everybody else. And like, I'm never gonna criticize someone for like for what they do on a field. Yeah, I might be frustrated if you go out and get shelled. You give up 3 home runs in the first inning. I might be, God damn it.
I'll be like, I don't know who.
I'm saying the same thing on the mound.
Right. But I'm not gonna be like, dude, you suck. Like, what are you doing? Like, you are so much better at what you do than any of us could ever be at what we do. Like, get a little bit of, like, frame of reference.
Perspective. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get it. There's a good question from Carrie. Oh, here it is. I'll get it up here. Everybody's blowing up the chat here. Graham, what's it like to be in the Ellie atmosphere?
You know, that dude is so electric, and it's hard to say because he's one of the I would say probably the only player that I've been around that can take a game in his hands and turn it in a flip.
And baseball is so hard to do that too.
Yeah.
It's harder than basketball or football or anything like that. Baseball is really hard to have that player to be that big of a game changer.
Like the one game that sticks in my mind, it was against the Brewers last year.
Yes.
And it was when he hit the single, stole second, stole third, stole home. That right there changed that game for us to win. That was the one thing that changed it for us to get the W that game.
Yeah.
I remember asking you that question last time you were on. You said you guys were like the fans. You guys were at the edge of your seats like, oh, my gosh. Like, you guys were surprised as much as the fans were that he was going to steal second, third, and home, right?
Yeah. And so, like, when you – like, it's just – like, you don't see that out of a lot of guys. And, like, yes, there's guys like the Pete Alonsos and the Aaron Judges that they're the game changers because if they come up in the ninth inning and they're down by 1 run and the guy's on first, they could change the game with a walk-off homer.
Yeah.
But it could be down by 1 and nobody's on base and Ellie's leadoff and gets walked. And next thing you know, in 2 pitches, he's on third base and scoring no outs. Like, that's a huge shift in the game of what can happen.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Now, I know Carrie asked our question up in the chat, like beginning of the show. Do you know how Matt McLean is doing?
He was doing really well. He's in the fall league, getting some ABs, getting to play. I mean, other than that, I can't really speak on it. You know, I was with him when I was out in Arizona, and he said he was feeling a lot better. He was feeling a lot stronger. And I mean, he's just getting after it and getting work in.
Yeah, that was a great way to start the season off. Right, his spring training starts, he gets hurt. It's like,
and Friedel and Arroyo, and then Marte got dinged for the PEDs. And there was some concern because McLean got pulled from the lineup yesterday, and he hasn't been back in. But I'm assuming it's just it's something minor. Hopefully. I think that's what she was referencing. So
hopefully,
the team is just so much better when he's out there.
If it's frequent stuff, I don't have any knowledge about that stuff.
you're like I'm not in the front office, so
yeah.
Okay, let's go here with Brad. Graham, do you think the younger players are willing to put the work in today that is required to be great team players?
I would say yes. I mean, you know, it's hard for me to say because I'm still a young player. Like I was only in, like, this was only my 3rd season, and I was only my second. It was only my 2nd full season. So, like, it's hard. That's hard for me to answer. It's like when guys come up, you can see the want to and the drive. For me, you don't necessarily I can't necessarily answer that until you see somebody come up for the 2nd year and how they go about their business.
Right. How fun? How impressed were you with? Or actually, you might not have been up there when he was there. Actually, Rhett Lauder. Were you there? Did you get to see him pitch? Okay, I thought you were hurt by then.
Yeah, I watched a couple of his starts though, and I mean, I was really impressed. I mean, a 22-year-old coming up, only spending a brief time in the minor leagues and doing what he did. You know, I mean, you saw it and you could see it in spring. He had the stuff, like it was there, but it was like, all right, let's see if how can he harness it? And then he did something in Double-A and flipped the switch, and then next thing you know, gets Triple-A, dominates, and then he gets up there and he did what he did when he was in the big leagues. I mean, he's a really good pitcher.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this. Go ahead, Greg. You say something?
So there's a long list of good baseball movies. Me and Strawberry here one time did like a full hour talking baseball movies. Is there a baseball movie that's like your number one favorite of all time? Because you can make an argument for like 10 or 15 of them easily.
Oh, mine that I could watch. I literally watched it every day for about 3 years straight, and I wore a jersey and acted just like Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Yes, Sandlot.
Yes, Sandlot.
I was more Ham Porter, but yeah, no, that was a good one too.
My favorite ones is always Field of Dreams. I don't know why. I just
But
I love that one.
But it's like when you get that's like you're saying though, when it's difficult like that. For me, it's like that's my personal favorite just because I watched it so much as a kid. But like if I wanted to get into like non-Disney type baseball movies, I would have to say it's like Bull Durham. It's Bull Durham and
Major League.
Yeah. Sandlot came out. I was right about the age of those kids when that movie came out. It came out in, I think, 93.
I wasn't. I was older.
You were,
I was in high school. You're a graduate. Hush, I'm not that old.
You were too old for Wendy Peppercorn.
No, actually, in the movie, she's probably my age then. Yeah.
But she married Squints.
I would have kicked Squint's ass.
But now, you would not have kicked Squint's ass. Squints was awesome. You do not mess with Squint's Palidorus. I forget where I was going there. Damn it. Now, actually, have you ever seen Everybody Wants Some?
Everybody Wants Some. I don't think I have.
Okay, it's do you know Dazed and Confused?
I don't know it by heart, but I've seen it before. Yeah.
Okay, it's made by the same guy. It's similar thing, except it's college baseball in like 1980, and it's hilarious. But it also the players look more like ball players than in any other baseball movie I've ever seen in my life. So it's definitely one. It's funny as hell, and you should check it out.
Oh yeah.
So what's besides GABP? What's your favorite park to pitch in? Which GABP might not be your favorite park to pitch in, to be honest. after I put the question out there, I'll put it this way: what is your favorite park to pitch in?
I get asked that question a lot, and it's hard. It's hard for me to narrow it down to one because I've had a couple stadiums that I've pitched really well in.
I mean, you can do minor leagues if you want to. I mean, if you got one of those.
No, I mean, like I would say, like from the mound wise and like size of the field, I would say probably my top like 3 would be San Diego, Atlanta, and then probably like a mix between like the Dodger Stadium or San Francisco.
So what? I'm not a pitcher at all. I played first base and outfield. What constitutes a good mound? Is the slope, the dirt, the rubber? What makes it the better mound than other ones?
It's the slope. If it looks like a mountain out there in the middle of the field, it makes you feel so much closer to home plate. I'm going to say it just because we're getting some work done at our place. Our mound feels like you're throwing a flat ground.
Really?
It's just because the way the dimensions were laid out back in the day. They made it because the way it drains, they wanted it all to run from home, like the mound out. And so the whole field like slowly comes up to the mound. So the mound's supposed to be, I think it's 16 or 18 inches like up.
Yeah.
And so like from home plate. And so when you look at it, because everything's sloping up, it's not really that height, but
if the whole field's crowned, then
from because the angle of the field.
Right.
But when you go to other places, like you look at our place, guys take one step with their foot, they're up on the mound. You go to like Dodger Stadium, you're taking one step halfway up the back of the mound, and then taking another step to get on top of the mound.
I'll have to make sure I pay attention to that next time. I knew the slope and height were different, but yeah, that's a good way to judge it there. So they are redoing the mound. Are they going to make it a mountain?
I hope so.
Because good, Joe.
I'm looking at your numbers by ballpark, and you pitch really, really well out on the West Coast. I know the NL West has traditionally the bigger, more pitchers ballparks like Oracle and Dodger Stadium. But yeah, you've 2 games at Dodger Stadium, man. You pitch lights out.
Yeah, those I would say the best places I've thrown: San Diego, San Francisco, LA, Miami, Atlanta, and surprisingly enough, Yankee Stadium, even though it's a smaller park.
Just looking at that, 626 OPS given up. That's lights out, man. Well done.
Thank you.
So what was it like? I know it's not old Yankee Stadium, but it's still Yankee Stadium. What was it like facing the Yankees? Of all the tradition and all that stuff. Was it? Did you take a moment to like, look where I'm at, or it was just all business?
I mean, I threw there. It was. I want to say it was my rookie year. I pitched there.
Okay.
And I lined up against Garrett Cole, and so that was. But like Aaron Judge wasn't in the lineup then. They had I think the only big guy that I remember in the lineup was Stanton. And so
that's still a pretty big guy.
That's a very big dude.
Yeah.
I will say I haven't he looks bigger than Judge standing in the box. And I think it's just because he has that shoulder turn where it's like his back's facing you. Yeah. So he just looks like a freaking brick wall in the batter's box.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say I didn't really get a good taste of it that first time I pitched there, but the second time, the lineup that they have there, it was all right, I'm ready to work.
Let's go, baby. So did you ever go out to Monument Park or anything? Go out there and check any of that stuff out while you guys are there?
No, I went out. I'm not a big city guy. I don't like big.
Shocking! A country boy's not a big city guy. He'd rather be in a tree stand.
but it's weird though. I'm okay in Chicago and Boston. It's just something about New York. I'm just not a fan of it. We where we were staying, it was like a 20-minute walk back from Central Park, and surprisingly enough, the 2 times I pitched there, we had an off day, so I went to go throw both times in Central Park. Well, the first time I Ubered, the second time I walked, and I turned a 20-minute walk into about 12, 15 minutes.
You got the hell out of there.
Oh, I was long striding.
There's some crazy mother truckers here. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Yeah. So you actually went and long toss in Central Park?
Yeah.
Who came with you?
The first time it was Eric Jagers. He's with the Mets now in their in one of their coordinator roles. And,
okay.
And then the second time it was Alon Leachman.
So how disappointed were you? I have to ask you this. I don't know if you ever got a chance to do this, but since they brought in the DH here last couple of years, were you ever able to make a major league at bat, and were you disappointed that you couldn't do that?
Yeah, I mean, because when I got up to AA in 21, that it was like, hey, you got to start hitting again, and I had some juice back in the day, so I was like, all right, I get to
let's go, I got it.
So I got to hit BP and stuff, and I was hitting some homers and stuff, and then of course come back in the spring next year, and it's like throw it out the window.
Dang it, that's things. Oh, so what position? When you're a position player, what position did you like to play?
I was corner infield. I mainly played first base just because I'd pitch game 1 and then they'd put me in at first next couple games or DH.
I was always third base or first base. First base because I was tall. It was a big target. I was hard to miss.
See, I got screwed because I was left-handed, so I was only and I was short, but I played
still short.
First base. Well, I'm 6'1", dude. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm taller than you are, though.
Yeah, but I'm not short. But yeah, I was either first base or outfield. But I do got a question for you. How good are you at trivia?
Ooh, whoa.
Depends.
Teammate trivia.
Oh, teammate trivia. Okay.
Teammate trivia. I feel like I could be decent at it.
Okay, in your Reds career, you have pitched. What
is it? Guys that I've played with for the past at least 2 years.
It's since your Reds career. I was going to say you have. And I'm looking at a Baseball Reference page right now. You have thrown to 9 catchers. Can you name them? Obviously Ty Stevenson's kind of a given, but
yeah, Ty Stevenson, Kurt Casale, Aramis.
5 games with Aramis.
Mark Colesberry, Luke Maley,
Local Luke,
Austin Wins, who else?
There's another Austin in there.
Uh-oh.
Romine, Austin Romine.
Austin Romine.
I know this other guy. I can't freaking think of his name. I hung out with him all the time. Terrible.
You hung out with him all the time. You can't remember his name.
you got 2 more, and I think they were both in 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one of the guys, he hit a home run off Corbin Burns for us to win the game because me and Corbin went like 7 or 8 innings that game both, and it was the only run given up.
I I have no idea.
What's the What's give me the first letter of the young.
I think this is who we're talking about. Who MP of the initials?
Michael Papierski.
There you go.
And I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the.
And this is one game in 2022.
Chucky Robinson.
Chucky Robinson. There you go. Nicely done.
And you win absolutely nothing, but good job, Graham. So I had a question. So what is it? Do you like the pitch comm, or would you rather go back to signals? Because it seems like, especially in the playoffs here, it might be more gamesmanship. Every time a relief pitcher comes in, he's doing, I can't hear. They always got to go reset the pitch comm. Would you rather go back to signals, or do you like the pitch comm?
I like the pitch comm. I just like for me, especially like next year, like I feel like the shake-offs is what causes the delay, because then the catcher catcher finds what he wants, he looks down, he presses it, he's right before he presses it, he looks up to see if you're shaking here or here. Mm-hmm. And so every time you do this, he's got to go right back down to look at the buttons.
Right.
Unless he's got it memorized. And at the beginning of the season, because they haven't done it in so long and they changed the buttons of what the game of the calls and all that sometimes they got to look back down. So I feel like if I could have one like on my belt or something next year, to where it's like, no, I don't want that, I want this, and just I feel like it would just make it go quicker.
Would you shake yourself off like Zach Greinke did? Zach Greinke was calling the pitches, and he ended up shaking himself off to the catcher, which might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen.
The funny thing is because Stevenson, if you go and look at some of the games, Steve-O has pressed it and been like this.
That's throw pitch. I didn't mean that one. Take that back.
There's some because a lot of the buttons, it's like if you press it and hold, it'll be one thing, but if you press and let go, it's another pitch.
Okay.
And so like Stevenson would press and hold one, and it'd be like curveball, and I'm like, I don't throw that.
Why am I throwing a knuckleball?
Exactly. So does the pitch comm, does it have an accent or anything? Can you change it to sound southern or anything?
They normally they'll have somebody do an audio recording, and then they'll like audio tune it to have it be a very crisp, clean voice.
So you don't get to pick like the batters get to walk up music. You don't get to pick what your pitch comm sounds like.
Nope.
So speaking of that, if you did get the bat, what would your walk up music be?
Probably along the same lines that I've had being just when I'm pitching. Probably something either country or rock. I mean, it's something that's going to let you know I'm swinging for the fences. So.
Going long, baby. Going long. All right, Graham. Well, you've been on for almost an hour here, dude. I appreciate it. And like I said, like I said last time, we have to do this again sometime. And hopefully, maybe this year we can meet and go have a beer or something sometime. That'd be cool.
Oh, Tuesdays at the Moorline Lager House are a great place to come. Right across from the stadium.
Yeah, but as if we do it during the baseball season, I don't know. We'll see. True that. We'll find out if I'm still doing it.
We might have to find a little hideout somewhere.
Yeah, there you go. I like that idea. Graham doesn't like big cities, and I don't think he likes crowds. So come there might not be good. But anyway, Graham, I appreciate it, man. Good luck on the baby, and like I said, keep the guns close. Girls are awesome. Girl dads are awesome, but girl drama is a little weird. But you'll figure it out. Just when that happens, just say, "All right, honey, you take that." I don't have to do that.
All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate it, and thanks for having.
All right, Graham. Take it easy, buddy. See ya.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Oop. Hold on. I am hitting the wrong buttons here. There we go.
I got them for you.
All right, thanks. My mouse didn't want to work. Anyway, I'm like, it was working over here, and I got to move it. I really, that mouse you're talking about that you're having problems with?
Yeah.
I need to get me a nice one because it's not wanting to work.
I got the $150 one that I can't figure out that we forgot to return.
Did you ever figure it out Tuesday night?
No, not on Tuesday. I needed to bring the little adapter that plugs into the USB, which is sitting in the box right here next to me and wasn't in my bag.
It's a good spot.
It's lovely. My wife, she was asking me, well, why didn't you bring it? I'm like,
no. That's why
I'm having problems. That's why I'm texting you.
Exactly. So, Greg, I appreciate you coming on, man. Tell me about Bengals and Brews before I let you go, brother.
Catch us Mondays and Fridays on Bengals and Brews. Obviously, tomorrow we'll be on at 3:30. I hope talking about the Battle of Ohio, some team up north we're facing. I don't know what.
It was Brown flushing down on
Brown
them.
flushing down.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But yeah, no, thank you for having me on. Graham Ashcraft, such an awesome person to talk to.
He is.
Thank
He
you.
is.
Thank you
Good
so
down to
much
earth
for
guy.
coming on, Jeff.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, guys. Take it easy, brother.
Thank you.
See ya. All right, so next Tuesday, you and me have got a pretty big show.
We do.
We got Ted Karras, which I announced that yesterday that he is going to be there. They are going to, if we get enough people, I text Matt from Cincy Hat. They're probably looking to make it a Cincy Hat event. So if you guys show up, you can buy some Cincy hats. And we'll Ted will be on our show, and it's all for 2 hours. So maybe the first hour will be Ted, and the second hour we might have some guy who should be in the Hall of Fame named Ken Anderson.
Probably the two most charitable guys that have ever graced the Bengals uniform.
Absolutely, and they're both their charities are working together with this project too. So
Yeah,
so make sure you guys.
great. I mean, they work with similar adults with disabilities. That's fantastic. Ken Anderson Alliance is right down the road from here at down in Silverton, where he's got a coffee shop. He's got a lot of businesses where, for people to work and everything. It's really, really cool stuff.
So it's going to be an awesome time. Make sure you guys join us here.
Yeah.
Joe, since you got blue on, it's not teal, it's blue. Get out of here. Go to dinner.
Let's see. Look, see with the brighter light on it. It's teal.
That is not teal.
No, this is blue. That's blue.
Yeah, that's blue,
Also,
and that's baby blue.
Also, I'm gonna finish you off. Go Dodgers. Of the teams left, go Dodgers.
Oh, fuck Dodgers.
They spend
I hate
money.
the Dodgers.
They spend money. They draft well. They develop well. Like, they do everything that a team should.
Right, but I still hate them. I grew up hating them. I can't.
The Reds always kick the rest, so I didn't. So it wasn't a rivalry. The Reds were always better. So why would I be mad? It's like being too mad at Miami Redhawks when UC's like by far and away the better team. Like, I'm not mad. I feel sorry for you guys.
It's my grandparents. They made me hate the Dodgers, so I hate the Dodgers.
That's fine. See you, brother.
See you, dude. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thanks for watching. You can, like I said, you can check us out next Tuesday. We'll be at the Moorline Logger House. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have been live streaming on ZTV Online, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Again, do me a favor. If you have not been out to this place yet, go out to Midwest's best barbecue and creamery. It is an awesome place. Eventually, they're going to have, I think, they should have a statue of Greg, Big Savage, of him eating chicken wings and just dripping off his mouth. That's where I think, Tim Nicole, if you're listening to this, he's the mascot. It's got to be Greg. But before that happens, get out to Midwest Best. Check him out. Tell Tim Nicole I sent you. It's delicious. Trust me, you're going to love it. Also, the show is brought to you by Meyer Window and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. Like I said, I got them in my house. I highly recommend you give me yours. And my West Side Piece, go check out Hail Mary's, your ticket to the game. You can go watch Thursday Night Football there tonight. They got that. They have playoff baseball. Like I said, big-ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks, free parking. It's an awesome place. And I kind of already talked about it before, but check us out next Tuesday live at the Moorline Logger House. Ted Karras will be there. Ken Anderson will be there. Happy hour starts at 3, goes till 9. What that means is $5 drafts, house wines, well drinks, $2 off appetizers from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. The show's from 6 to 8. Ted Karras will be there. Ken Anderson will be there. I am extremely excited. I cannot wait for that show. And then on Wednesday, now remember, this is a new thing I'm doing. Wednesday, my show is going to be at 4:30. So Monday, Thursday, Friday, it's at 5:30. Tuesdays at 6 o'clock. Wednesdays at 4:30. I know it's confusing, but you guys you'll get used to it. Join us down at Newport on the Levee. Be an hour and a half before the Bengals Now taping. It was awesome last night. Joe McDaniman, Jeremy Rouse, Gabby are awesome people. They had Orlando Brown down there and Jordan Battle. That'll air tonight at 11:30. If you want to go watch what I did, it's on the YouTube channel for yesterday. But come join us because the Bengals are going to beat the Browns. It's going to be a lot of fun. And after they do that, come to the Moorline Mercedes-Benz of Fort Mitchell at Moorline Logger House, a pregame experience 3 hours before the Bengals home game. Now, this one, they moved it back. So the Eagles game is at 1 o'clock now, so the tailgate starts at 10 a.m. It's the best deal in the banks. It's $75. Open bar. And I mean open bar. Open bar. You can get whatever you want to drink. Plus, they have a delicious food spread. So come there. We got a DJ, live DJ. I'll be there. Do my pregame show for about a half hour to an hour, depending on how it goes. We try to do gritty contests. We try to give away some stuff there. It's an awesome time. Again, it's Mercedes-Benz at Fort Mitchell at Moreland Lager House. The pregame experience, go to the Moreland Lager House social media pages. Get your tickets there. I've got it on my Twitter line, on my Facebook pages, all that stuff. So make sure you guys check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. I am heading down actually to Moreland House. Now we're going to go down there and we are going to watch the Blink parade. It's going to be a fun night. We got Blink tonight all weekend. So if you guys are out and about, come say hi. Tomorrow will be our fun Football Friday show. Greg, I think, will be back on. Dale will be on. And we'll have a fun time on Friday getting you ready for the weekend. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
They still gotta play us. Let's go, baby. Woo!
Hey, don't run that ball on the one Hubbard, showed you how that go down. Feeling like Santino, tell him we want all the smoke now. We ain't snooping that commercial, we don't put no smoke down. Plus we back and you can't hide, so it ain't nowhere safe to go now. Hey, we always gon' turn up in that jungle every time. How we ain't gon' win when we loaded in with 9. Plus T just came in signed, so the city gon' be fine. Jamar say he open every time and he ain't never lied. Look at how we win at it, the size of the old line. Giving Burrow extra time should be a federal crime. Hey, we right back on that path again. Put the division back to the test, they won't pass again. Orlando and Trent Brown, that's the Tower Twins. Feel like we only getting better as we stacking wins.
And we stacking.
Jaceki in for 6, that's a gritty again. AFC North battles getting gritty again. It's Yoshi second year and we just brought Burton in. Vaughn back to ring some